Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Shannon and this is Glam by Shan. Today I have a video I've been working so hard on for you. It is a 5 looks, 1 palette video with the So Jaded palette by Kathleen Lights and Colourpop. This is my personal most colorful palette in my collection. It has a beautiful range of shades. There are 30 shades in this palette and it retails for $39 on the Colourpop website. I'm looking at it right now. It is currently sold out, but they do restock this palette, and I'm sure that they'll restock it once they get their production up and going again. Like I mentioned, I have 5 looks to show you in this video today. I have a range of different looks. I really dug deep into my creative depths and pulled out some very exciting looks for you. I've been working very hard on this video for you all. It was very fun for me to be as creative as possible, and I hope you enjoy all of the looks I created. So if you are interested in a 5 looks 1 palette video, let's get started. So with every look, I am going in and priming my lids with my MAC Painterly paint pot, just getting that all over both of my eyelids before eyeshadow application. Alright, so today's look is going to be a purple look with the So Jaded palette. As you can see, I'm so excited. And I'm going to start off with Rose Quartz in my crease, just with a fluffy brush, and putting that all over as our first transition shade. And we're taking a coffee break before going in with our first purple toned shade, which is Ametrine. And I'm going to be taking this on another fluffy brush, and we're going to work that in our crease and outer corner to start building up the purple color for this look. So this shade has glitter flecks throughout it, so the way that you would use it as a matte shade is you would dust off the excess, so you would tap it off on the side of your palette before going in and using it to get rid of the glitters and make it a full matte color. Now I'm taking my NYX number 16 blending brush, and it is a completely clean brush, and I'm going over the color that I just put down to make sure that it is nicely blended. So here we are going in with the next shade called Garnet. It is a deeper reddish toned purple, and we're going in with yet another fluffy brush, but I'm going to keep this color right on the tip of the brush and coat it evenly, and then tapping off the excess before going into my outer corner and crease area and laying that color down. Now, I do like to hold my lid down when I use deeper colors to make sure that it doesn't get stuck in any of my eye creases, and to make sure that it applies nice and evenly. And I'm going in with that NYX brush again to blend the color we just put down. So I'm going in again with Ametrine, that first purple shade we used, on the brush that I just used for the Garnet shade to start to pull the look together with both colors on this brush, and tapping off that glitter that's in the shade and working it over Garnet that I just put down. So I'm really starting to pull together this purpley tone, this look, and we're just laying down all these nice transition shades. Alright, so now I'm taking the shade Sapphire, taking the tiniest bit, and I'm going to take it on a tapered, fluffy brush on the very, very tip of the brush. So keeping it right on the end, and I am tapping off the excess, showing you what kind of brush I'm using, tapping off the excess again, we don't want too much on there, and then I'm putting it on the very outer corner of my eye. So right where the top and bottom lid kind of meet on the outer corner, and patting it on first, and then I will blend it in. Then I am taking that Colourpop tapered fluffy brush into Ametrine again and softening that sapphire shade that I just put on my outer corner. Now I am taking the shimmer shade called Amethyst right down the bottom here on a Colourpop shader brush, and I'm going to put that all over my lid space, and I'm going to start it in the center and then work it to the smoked out sapphire side and to the inner corner of my eye. I am now going into another shimmer shade called Alexandrite. It is more of a purpley blue tone, almost like a duochrome, with that same shader brush because I want to make sure that all of the shades come together nicely. And I'm going to put that towards the outer corner of my eye where Amethyst will meet the smoked out mattes, and put it right there. So now I want to bring some brightness to my lid with the shimmer shade Fluorite. I'm going to take it on my finger, just a little swipe in there, and I'm going to pat it on my lid. So pat, 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 and then I will blend it out with another finger that is clean, just to give it a nice brightness to that lid. Kind of digging how this look is coming together. So I'm going to take one more color, and that is going to be Diamond, the Super Shock shadow in this palette. So I'm taking it on my finger because Super Shocks work best on the finger, and I'm patting this beautiful glitter shade on my lid to add some more dimension and some more brightness. I am going in with a makeup wipe and cleaning out any fallout underneath my eyes before doing my face, and then I will move on to my lower lash line. Alright, so starting on my lower lash line with Ametrine on a bullet tapered brush by Morphe, I am working it in there, and then remember, tapping off the glitter because we want to work with just the matte shade, running it on my lower lash line. I had already done almost all of my face makeup, so what I like to do is go in and finish my lower lash line and then finish out my face completely at the end. Now I'm taking Garnet on a poolside chic brush from BH Cosmetics, and I'm going to run that on top of Ametrine, the previous shade. Now I'm taking Sapphire on a very precise pencil brush by IT Cosmetics. The brush is at Ulta, and I'm going to run that on my lower lash line, focusing it on the outer, I'd say third of my lower lash line. And finishing off with a little bit more of Garnet on the poolside chic brush. going to highlight my inner corner with Moonstone and another Poolside Chic brush from BH Cosmetics, making that inner corner nice and bright, keeping our eyes nice and open. So this is the final purple look from the So Jaded palette. I think it came out super pretty. I paired it with a purpley kind of lip gloss from McGrath, which I'll link down below. And I hope you enjoyed my purple look. Hello everyone! So I'm starting off this look with my primed eyes, and we are starting with the shade Rose Quartz from the So Jaded palette, buffing that all into our crease with a fluffy brush. Next, going in with the shade Geodude. It is a nice neutral green color with a tapered fluffy brush, putting that right where I put the shade Rose Quartz, focusing it on the outer V of the eye and into the crease. I'm slowly building this color to the intensity that I want on my eyes, so I did about 2 or 3, I guess you could say, coats of it on my eyes. I went in about 2 or 3 times and just building up the color on the outer corner and the crease. Going in with the Star matte shade, which is Jade. It is a deep green and a tapered fluffy brush, so nice and pinched at the barrel, and it fluffs out a little bit at the end, giving us more precise control. And I'm putting that on the outer corners of my eyes, dragging it into the crease to meet with the other 2 shades we have used. Now taking Stoned, which is a deep brown matte, on a more dense fluffy brush, so a little bit densely packed, and I am going to put that on the outer corner of my eye, so the very end where it kind of looks like the shape of a V. I'm just going to trace the color towards my lash line and then up towards my crease, and then I'm going to build it up in that area. Take a clean fluffy brush with no additional color on it. I actually haven't used this one at all during this look. Completely clean and just blending all of the colors together, making sure that it is looking nice and blended. I felt like we had lost a bit of Rose Quartz since the beginning, so I went in with the fluffy brush that I used for the first step with Rose Quartz, putting it back in the crease on the very outer edge of all of those colors that we've built up so far. I am now taking our first shimmer shade, which is Tiger Eye, and I'm putting that on a flat shader brush, loading it up, and then I'm going to apply it all over my lid. Now I'm going in with the shimmer that is the star of the show, which is Peridot, on my finger. I am rubbing my finger into the shade. It is beautiful. And I'm patting it on my lid, so I'm not swiping. I don't want full metallic payoff. I just want to tap it on and then tap it with a clean finger. And fun fact, Peridot is my birthstone. So I'm kind of partial to this color in this palette. Alright, onto the lower lash line. I'm starting with rose quartz, just like we did on the tops of our eyes, with a bullet crease brush, dipping it in there, and I'm running it right underneath my lashes. Second color I'm taking on my lower lash line is Geodude, so basically just using the same colors I did on the top of my eyes, using the same bullet crease brush, running it right underneath my lashes. Now taking Jade on a more defined brush, so that's from the Poolside Chic set from BH Cosmetics. It has a little bit more of a precise tip on it, and running it underneath my lashes. And rounding out the lower lash line with Stoned on the same BH Cosmetics brush, right on the tip there, and running it, focusing it on the outer half of my lashes, and then taking any remaining product towards the inner corner. And a dance break for you. And finally on the eyes, just highlighting my inner corner with the shimmer shade Pearl on a flat brush, bringing it right to my inner corner, keeping it nice and bright. I love a bright inner corner, so I really can't complete any makeup look without doing this step. So that completes this green smoky look I have going on with the So Jaded palette today. I paired it with a nice nude lip. I will link it down below. And I topped it with another Kathleen Lights product, the Moonchild Glossy Lip. Okay, our third look with the So Jaded palette. We are starting with Royal Jewels on a fluffy brush, and I'm gonna fluff that through my crease and kind of all over my eye area, mostly avoiding my lid though. And I am starting with primed eyes with my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. Next, going in with You're a Gem on another fluffy brush. This one is a little more tapered, so slightly more precise, focusing that into my crease right below Royal Jewels and working that back and forth in windshield wiper motions and circular motions. Next, going in with the shade Citrine on a much larger fluffy brush because I wanted to put this above the two previous colors and it completely slipped my mind. So I went in with a nice fluffy brush, tapped off the excess, and went right above those two previous shades. Then I went in with a clean, fluffy brush to blend the edges. Next, I'm using Carnelian on another fluffy brush, but again, more tapered. And I'm focusing that on the outer V and outer corner of my eye, but still keeping it nice and blended and more of a sunset kind of look. build up carnelian some more. So I took a more precise tapered brush, and I'm taking that more on the outer corner just to start deepening this look up. I thought it looked really pretty, but honestly it looked too blended to me, so I wanted to highlight the outer corner with some deeper shades. Now for the shimmer of this look, I'm going to be using Sunstone, and I'm going to take it on a flat shader brush so that I can map out the area where I want the shimmer to go. So I'm putting it all over my lid, right up to the edge of my crease, and I like to use a brush to do this first, and then you'll see a little bit later I go over with my finger to intensify it. And here I am taking my finger and putting it into Sunstone so that I can intensify the look, make it a little more metallic, which I prefer on the lid. I want it to stand out. What can I say? I'm a sparkly kind of lady. I always like to go back into a couple of matte shades to fluff into the crease after applying metallic shades. So here I am with Citrine on a big fluffy brush, just because I don't want those mattes to get lost in all of the blending that we've done previously. Same thing here, I'm just taking Carnelian on the same tapered brush and adding a little bit more to the outer corner where I felt like the orange shade had been lost a little bit. Finishing it off with some more Sunstone because I felt like I needed more glitter and sparkle. You can never have too much sparkle. I wanted to add a little more depth, so I took my Mr. Bing cream gel liner from Colourpop, another Kathleen Lights product, and I am tight lining my waterline. This is not my favorite step, but I felt like this look kind of needed it. So I am suffering for you. You're welcome. Okay, so now going to the lower lash line, I'm taking Royal Jewels on a bullet crease brush onto my lower lash line. So I'm basically going to use all the same colors I did on my top lid on my lower lash line. Just making sure we totally round out the look, make it look complete. And I'm doing this after doing most of my face makeup, and I've already definitely set underneath my eyes. Taking Citrine on my lower lash line with the same brush. I like to work with the same two brushes on my lower lash line. I find that's what's easiest for me. So running this on my lower lashes. And then taking Carnelian on the other lower lash line brush that I use, a BH Cosmetics Poolside Chic brush. And this one's a little more dense than the previous brush. I'm sure I've mentioned that already in this video in other eye looks, but I love it for the lower lash line. And I'm taking my Mr. Bing gel liner again onto my lower waterline. And you can't forget to highlight your inner corner and your brow bone. So taking Pearl on a flat shader brush, starting with my brow bone, so right underneath the highest part of my brows on both sides, and then highlighting my inner corners with the same shade and the same brush. And I'm finishing out this look with a Pout McGrath lip gloss listed in the description box below. I hope you guys liked this warm sunset look. Hi everybody, here is our fourth So Jaded palette look. We are playing with the blue tones in here today, kind of inspired by the ocean. Please excuse my terrible messy bun today. We are starting this look with the shade Rose Quartz on a fluffy brush, and I'm putting this through my crease and outer corner to start a base shade before we build up the blue colors. I want to mention here that I switched to a more dense tapered fluffy brush to continue building up the color. Now going in with the shade Turquoise on a more densely packed fluffy brush, and we're going to put that mostly in the outer corner and then fluff it into the crease. Here I'm switching to a bigger fluffy brush, dipping into Turquoise again, and I'm going to blow that color out a little bit more. I am then taking a clean fluffy brush and blending all of the edges. So I'm really taking my time continuing to build up Turquoise in my outer corner and crease area. I want to make sure that the color looks fully blended, so I don't want to go in with a super heavy hand right away. I'm going back in with the shade Rose Quartz on the first fluffy brush we used, and I am softening the edges of Turquoise. Now, to deepen up the outer corner, I'm dipping into Sapphire on the tapered fluffy brush, and I'm focusing that on the very outer corner of my eye. And I'm dipping back into Rose Quartz again to soften the edges of Sapphire. Now starting with our first shimmer shade, which is Onyx, on a flat shader brush, I am going to apply this on the middle of my lid to the outer corner of my lid. Moving on to our second shimmer shade, which is Aquamarine. I am first going to take that on a separate flat shader brush so I don't mix the two shimmers together, and I'm going to apply that from the middle of my lid to the inner corner of my lid, so finishing out the lid shade with this color. I'm going to take Aquamarine on my finger now and intensify that shade to make it stand out a little more. I am now going to top the whole lid off with the shade Diamond, taking it on my finger. This is just going to add some nice glitters to the lid and make it sparkle a little bit more. Now beginning the lower lash line with the shade Rose Quartz on the bullet crease brush and running that underneath both of my eyes. Next I'm taking Turquoise with the BH Cosmetics pencil brush onto my lower lash line. Then dipping into a sapphire on the same BH Cosmetics brush and focusing that towards the outer half of my lower lash line. And you know I can't do a look without it, highlighting my brow bone and inner corner with the shade Pearl on a flat shader brush. And I'm finishing out today's look with a nude lip liner. This is the Bite Beauty lip liner in the shade 20. Unfortunately, this is discontinued, but any nude lip liner will work. Then I'm using the Bikini Bottom Sophia Nygaard and Colourpop lipstick. This is a beautiful neutral nude. It is not too warm, not too cool. It is pretty much my perfect nude. And then finishing off this lip with the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit Shine in the shade Ascend Nudes. Sorry, I didn't quite focus there, but this, again, is a beautiful neutral nude shade, and since it is the Shine formula, it acts just like a lip gloss. That is it, you guys. This is the completed blue, let's call it ocean eyes look. I really enjoyed how this came out. I went out of my comfort zone with this one, so I hope you guys like it. We are on to our last and final look of this series with the Kathleen Lights So Jaded palette. I am first starting with the shade Rose Quartz, and I'm going to take that on a pretty large eyeshadow brush. So it is a not quite a fluffy brush, not quite a flat shader brush. It's somewhere in between. You could probably use it to blend out your concealer, but I like to use it to put color all over my lid. Next, I'm using a tapered fluffy brush and dipping back into Rose Quartz to start to build up the shade. So I'm only going to use this and one other matte color in this look today. It's going to be very neutral, very soft, but I want to make sure that there is enough depth in my eye. Next, dipping into the shade Stoned with an e.l.f. fluffy-ish brush. It's not super fluffy, but it's definitely nice and pinched at the barrel there. And I am very lightly loading up the brush, tapping off the excess, focusing this on the outer corner just to give a little bit of extra depth. Now I'm going into Moonstone, and I'm going to take that on my finger. I'm going to pat it all over my lid, and then I am going to take a clean finger and just blend it out to make it more of a wash of a shimmer rather than a stark metallic shimmer. And lastly, I'm going in with the shade Diamond, again on my finger. This is the Super Shock shadow in the palette, so you always want to use your finger. And I'm tapping the glitters of this shade right on top of Moonstone. Now moving on to the lower lash line, I am taking a small Real Techniques brush and the shade Rose Quartz, loading that up and applying it right underneath my lashes. Then taking a little bit of Stoned on a pencil brush by It Cosmetics, and I'm focusing that on the outer half of my lower lash line. Again, to add more depth and to just kind of tie it all together. And as always, we can't forget to highlight. So I'm taking Pearl on a flat shader brush to highlight my brow bone first and then my inner corner of both of my eyes. I'm happy to report that the lip that I'm applying today is in fact available for purchase on almost all makeup platforms. This is the Wet n Wild Bear to Comment lip liner. I am just lining the lips very lightly. And I am then using the L'Oreal Color Riche Matte Lipstick in Passionate Pink, also available for purchase. You can find it at your CVS, your Walgreens, your Rite Aid, your Ulta, wherever you get your drugstore makeup. And this is a beautiful neutral pink. I wanted to have some sort of pink in this look today, but I didn't want to overdo it with a bright poppy pink. I wanted to do it with a more neutral pink, so this is the one I went with, and I think it combines the look very nicely. This is the final neutral look. Perfect for every day, perfect for work or school, wherever you're going. I made sure that there was plenty of glow. Your girl likes glow, and that is it for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay everybody, so that completes this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like me, you like this video, you like any of the looks that I did, please give me a like down below. Also be sure to subscribe while you're down there and hit the post notification bell to be notified every single time I upload. And with that, I will see you in my next video. Bye. Yes, this is amazing. Guess I'm gonna have to close the windows a little bit. There we go. Okay. Oh, I have to take my allergy pills. Ow. Stab myself in the eye. I need some chapstick. Watch my girl, Jessica Braun. I'm just binging all of our old videos because I'm all caught up. You guys, sorry I have Jessica Braun out in the background, but I just got a tripod. I haven't set my backdrop up yet. It comes with a freaking clicker. This is changing my life. Goodbye.